Welcome to Monty and Beck's UK Van Life. And welcome to Monty and Beck's UK Van Life. This is Monty and I'm Bex. His real name is, of course, Captain Montgomery the First. I call him Monty for short. So I've had to make some modifications when I got Monty. Although the alloy wheels are the same, the tyres on them had a lot lower profile and they were set on lower springs. So I took the sport springs off each of the corners and replaced them with the originals. Put a slightly higher profile tyre on. This is going to make the jacket for Monty. Goes behind the ply line. Anyway, we're going to strip off the panels on the back and get some insulation in. Ready to insulate behind the flyboard here. I'm using loft insulation, 200mm. I'm going to take out this screw. This was already ply lined when I bought the van. Just use a hand in shot there. There's a few of these to do. And that's the bubble wrap in place. It's just crudely taped on, just for now. So this is 200mm thick. Comes in sections of 4, which is going to make it easier for me to fit. So I've sandwiched the board, the loft insulation and the bubble wrap like that, and lift it all up. Against the wall to get my first fit. And I've just been gaffer taped into place until I can get some self-tapping screws in. This is the ply line box for the wheel arch. Don't forget to throw your material in there, whatever you're using. This is fiberglass, a little bubble wrap as well. So I'm going to use these self-tapping screws to secure the ply line onto the actual van itself, and power drill just to keep the ply in place. And this here is a section of carpet, again, I've had given to me from a guy who sells carpets. It's an old offcut. He let me have quite a bit of this, so it's another freebie. And I want to cut out a section now, roughly big enough to fit in here, and then I'm going to cut and shape it a little later. Before I fit the carpet, it's ready for a bit of silicone or builder's cork. This here is the sealant, it's bathroom sealant, it's silicone. Okay, that's taped on for now. because I haven't got a spare pair of hands to help me. And then I'm going to use spray carpet adhesive straight on. I'm going to put some on the side, on the underside, and then some on the actual wood itself. Just put the carpet in and tucked it behind the rubbers. Still a bit of work to go at the top, at the front, and some neatening up, and where the wheel arch is, I still have a section here waiting to go on there. So this is a section of the wheel arch, last bit to carpet on this side. With this section of carpet, I'm going to make a fold in the top so it fits in something like that, and then I'll just tack it in place. But first, with that fold, I'll still need to glue it down, and then just hammer and tacks to get that fold, cover up this edge here. And that's the wheel arch box all done. Just needs a little bit of tidying up on the edge, a little trim. It's been tacked into place with little carpet tacks all glued in. Now it's not the neatest job because I've never done this before, but to be honest with you, I don't mind that at all. And it'll have to have a little extension on the foot end because the van is not quite long enough, so this bulkhead is going to have to come out. Okay, so I need to take the bulkhead out. I've undone all the bolts, but it needs to be grinded out. So it's just two little sections on a grinder, and the bulkhead should be out. After that, progress should be pretty quick in the back of that. It's only that one bulkhead that's stopping me from carrying on any further. And that's the bulkhead removed. And I had to take out the ply line that we did to get the bulkhead out, so all that has to be refitted. All told, I'm reasonably happy with it, but I still have the other side to do yet, so I can hopefully learn from any mistakes I've made on this side. But this is a side where the sleep deck is going to go, and it will come out at least half the width of the van here, and the sink hob and stove will come to say here, and it's going to be a close fit. Okay, I'm on the way to a caravan scrapyard where they keep all kinds of things that is scrap from caravan, obviously. But what I'm after today is a sink with a drainer and a hob Now I have been here last week to price them up. They're around the 50-60 quid mark, and they're not in that good condition. Right, not far now. I seen one on eBay for £35 and it was in good nick, but it meant going from North Wales to Leicester to get it. So what's that, about a 4-hour round trip just to try and save 15 quid. I reckon the diesel in Monty would cost me about that. Well, I'm happy with that. I got one. It's not in brilliant order, but it's only in need of a little clean. I can show it you. It fits in the van. Excuse the shopping. I'll get it out for you now. I just want to show it you. That there's plenty of room in there now. So on this side will be the cooking arrangement, and I'm going to make a wooden cot bed for this other side for free, no money. And he's chucked in the grill pan as well. Just needs good clean. This is 2 hours of really hard work, a lot of cleaning, but as you can see, it's well worth it. Let's come up a treat. Now, just got to do the grill pan. Okay, yeah, I have another pallet that's going to make the unit, the sink hob and drainer to sit on. The bits of wood I'll be interested in are these here. And that's what I managed to salvage. That one has a bit of a split in it on the end there. So what I'm going to do is just chop some of the ends off and use the centre section for what I need, and hopefully I should be able to have enough here to make the 2 ends of the unit. I'm just putting in the unit now for the sink, hob, drainer. This is the back. Screwed it directly onto the ply line, and this just sits behind it for now. It could have a couple of self tappers there. It's only 3 legs at the front. Here's the sink, and I have put in a self tapper just to keep the sink into place on all 3 of the legs. But it's, you know, it's reasonably firm in place because it has been screwed in to the back there, and again somewhere in the middle there, same deal. So it is pretty secure, but at the moment I can't have this screwed down permanently because I need access to the spare wheel, and that is going to be a nightmare once the bunk goes in and this is in. I am not going to have access to the spare wheel, so that is going to have to go somewhere else. There's really not that much to it. I'll show you how we built the kicker board and the top. These are the cladding boards. It's tongue and groove. There's the groove, there's the tongue, and they all just slide into each other. So if you recall, when we put the unit in down here, we had 3 blue legs, the skeleton, one there, one in the middle, and you can still see one at the end over there. First job I did was to get some of this 4 by ½ inch. It was from a pallet, and I nailed it, or screwed it rather, straight on to here to make a kicker board. And it was the same working on the corner here. There is a kicker board under there, but I've had to reset this higher because I still need access for the spare wheel, so raising the unit up just a little gives me access to get the spare wheel. It's not ideal, but hey, that's life. Okay, this is the top of the unit we're looking at now. So I've got my first cladding board, and I just nailed this piece on with very, very fine screw tacks, wood tacks. I can see one there. And then 2 uprights, one here. Let's take this door off for now. One here and one over there. You can just see how it's covered the blue skeleton frame of the old pallet a lot tidier. It leaves a horrible joint. Decorative moulding. I've got 90-degree corners and a rather fancy piece. So here's the 90-degree corner, and it has quite a decorative couple of cuts in it there on the other side. So anywhere where there's a 90-degree corner, such as here on the corner of the unit, I'll put a 90-degree piece in. Some decorative moulding as well. I'll see if I can pull you in close enough to see the wood grain. Oh, no, I don't think you're going to pick it up, but it is quite a fancy bit of moulding. It's only cheap, and this will go anywhere to cover them joins. Here I made a box panel in with that moulding. So to the left here is the 90-degree corner piece, decorative moulding here, and I've had to cut 90-degree cuts here and here, and all the corners using that mitre block, and that will tidy up a lot of the these edges. I've still got one to go on to there. That one needs making up, and on the corner where the cooker is, there's a 90-degree moulding there. and all the way around the top of the sink. Now with these cladding boards here, if you remember, we had something like an upright here underneath, and I had a similar kind of fixing at the back on top of the wheel arch, a smaller one. So it's very, very easy then, before the moulding went up, to start putting the tongue and groove cladding on, all cut to shape and size. I left enough gap there under the sink for some water containers. I've got 2 under there, and of course I need access under here for the sink tap. I've got 2 containers. One has fresh water, one will have grey water, that's the used water, and I found this. Today's lucky find. I got this from an industrial size tub of soap. It's a pump and it works. This can go straight into my water container under the sink, into that red tube, and the other bit will come out through here somewhere perhaps. So there's the corner of the sink, and I can just drill a hole and put that self-priming pump into there. Or it could go on this corner here. If it's not in the way, I'll leave it there. I would like it to go in the other corner out of the way here, but it's all dependent on if that water tub will fit in the corner or not. And of course it was all finished off with some wood dye and the same antique pine varnish to get a better glaze. It's worked in some places, and then I've gone and scratched a hell of a lot of the varnish. Look at that, it's terrible. So I have a different idea for the colour of this and to get it back to its original. Okay, let's just run through some other things that have been installed. They're not quite finishing touches, but they're very, very handy things to have. Obviously what went up first was a utensils rack, and then I bought some utensils, a spatula, a draining spoon, a serving spoon, and I put my old Commando mess tins up there behind a chopping board. Now as regards to the splashback, you can see here isn't made of tiles. It's an old offcut of some lino or linoleum, can't say it, and that's been put on just with some self-adhesive glue that you get in a tube. Might have been a silicone based glue. Next would be your storage racks here. I bought 3 of these. It was some space that I had. Now when you're designing a van like this, every little nook and cranny becomes very, very important. So I got 3 for about £3. Simply screwed them straight into the ply line. And the first one, brew making materials, right next to the sink and obviously the kettle. Coming down would be more kitchenware, plate, tea towel, the stove lighter, some washing liquid, knife, fork, spoon, something to wash the pots with, and that's already made it feel a lot more like home. I bought some tubing, 3/4 inch, and this will fit inside it, and then I can get the tap that I want from there into there, through the tube and into the water. Okay, here's what the door looks like, and I've actually turned this over, put it on 2 of the cladding boards, the same material as the front is made of. So I've started cutting where we need to be. Okay, job done. That's been cut along there. Now, when we fit the rebate, that should fit very nicely. Well, connecting the gas should be relatively easy. Here's the gas pipe that comes straight into the cooker unit up there, and it's been pinched together, so with an aid of my little junior hacksaw I can just nip that off, connecting the new pipe onto there with an aid of a Jubilee clip. What do I need? This is what I need. A little hacksaw so we can start connecting the gas to the bottle. That's Jubilee clip on there, so the black gas bottle connection pipe straight on to the cooker copper pipe there. I think for the first gas testing the bottle's going to stay outside. So here is the stove, the cooker. Still yet to put on the knobs that go on these, but if you look underneath, there is a grill under there, but it doesn't come with anything to rest the tray on. See, if I was to let go of that, it'd fall down. So now I need to make some measurements and build a metal form here which will protect the back of the carpet from burning and all around it. You'll see more of what I mean when it comes to building the form. So that's the next job now, is to build the actual form itself. So a template first. Once I'm happy with the template, the way it's going to be fixed is not by riveting it onto the underside, but using the skeleton of the frame here. I can put 2 bars along here, wooden bars, easy enough just to screw on, one on the front, one on the back, and the metal plate will slide in to about here where my hand is, which will allow me to sit this on top, something like that. I've just got to get the spacings worked out because I don't want burnt toast. So I've got about 17 inches, I think. No, I've got less than that. 13 inches width here. Should be plenty enough to guard against the flame. Now the height, with a T, not height, I'm doing it. Now here I am, here. I'm going to give myself 5 inches from the top, or near the top of the cooker. This can be adjusted up or down before the final fit. So 5 inches here, and the depth from front to back, I've got 17 inches. And again, I need an overlap as well, so I'm just going to allow for overlap. So first we need to form the template. Any mistakes I'd rather make on card before we start cutting. So I have the card that I need. I'm going to take some measurements, mark out what needs to be done, and use this card so I can form the template. It's 2 foot here. Here. I also said I wanted it about 13 across, plus some to go up the edge, and I don't know how much to give out. Let's give it 5 up the edge for now. Then my 13. Then another 5. I don't usually do things in inches. I'm not used to it, but it's just where it's more. It's just happened to land on 5. And then the corners marked out in chevrons, like I always do with my woodwork or metalwork. Put chevrons down here. This is a bit I don't need. This is a bit I'm cutting out. And it's the same on the other side. Okay, it's time to start cutting out the template. Okay, this is the concept template. Needs folding into shape, and with an aid of some tape, got it all stuck together. So here's the template box shape, open at the front, a little extra to make a fire guard, and see if I can fit it in under the grill, and I'll come back to you in a second. Now, this is a line I've marked here that's sticking out too much by that much, so it needs to be cut off here and here on both sides. So I'm going to measure that. Other than that, I think we're nearly there. Okay, that's the finished form, or template rather, and this now fits. I know it does. This is the size I want it. I just undo the edges where I've taped it and transfer that onto a big sheet of tin. Now it's time to mark out where it is I want to cut using the best part of the metal as I possibly can, which is about here. It does mean there's a lot of cutting out to do, and the sheet here is slightly, only by a few mil, too short. I'm not going to worry about it. First of all, just want to mark out the template. Okay, I've got some loose markings and a pair of tin snips, and I'm going to give this a go. I've not used tin snips before. Right, I'm going to make some cuts. Okay, and there's the template all cut out. Just needs bending into shape. With an aid of length of wood I can get the corners bent in. And that's the simple box cut out. Now I can rest the old grill pan onto here.